Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Kenny's Movie Palace for a special video. My friend Tim from Tim's Talks Talkies has a Project America kind of thing for your top 25 movies of the 70s. I am a 70s and 80s kid, and I watched a lot of movies growing up, and these are my specific 25. Not the best in the world, but these are my top 25. So I don't have like all the props or anything like that. So I'm just going to rattle off my 25. Okay. My first one is I think one of the greatest disaster movies, and it's The Towering Inferno at number 25. Number 24, my list is probably different than a lot of them. I see my buddy D, great list by the way. I didn't see one comedy on his. No, Blazing Saddles was on there. My number 24 is a movie called Foul Play with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase, their first movie together. And I think this movie is absolutely brilliant. Makes me laugh every time I watch it. Number 23 is, and he's on here a couple times, Hooper, starring Burt Reynolds. Love it. I just watched it last week again. Still makes me laugh. Still makes me laugh in the same spots as it did when I was a kid, and I just love it. Number 22 is The Goodbye Girl with Richard Dreyfuss and Marsha Mason. Richard Dreyfuss won an Oscar for this role. I think it's a great movie. I just love it. Good rom-com, and who doesn't like the David Gates song, Goodbye Girl? Number 21, this is a little controversial, but Godfather 2. I have it down on my list. I know it'll probably make the top 5 or something on Tim's, but Godfather 2, it's a great movie. It's a classic, everything like that, but I have other movies that are ahead, and Godfather 2 is number 21. Number 20, Dirty Harry. As my man D once said, he grew up with Clint Eastwood movies. I grew up with Clint Eastwood movies. Dirty Harry was a game changer. Loved that movie. Number 19 is on one of my favorite comedies ever, Blazing Saddles. Absolutely love it. Couldn't be made today. Mel Brooks was a damn genius. I have the Mel Brooks collection here, and he's just really funny. The cast, his ensemble that he always had, I love that movie. Number 18 is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with the great Mel Gibson. Gene Wilder, I'm sorry. Mel Gibson. I just got done watching a Mel Gibson movie. That's why I was saying. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder is so great in this movie. I won't even watch Wonka. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was crap. But this movie was so brilliant. Just a beautiful movie, and Gene Wilder's performance was just fantastic. Number 17 is The Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau. Absolutely love this movie. I watch it every year before Philly season, and I just find it funny when he's drinking beer with a cooler, watching the kids saying, "You little bastards." I laugh every time I watch it. Number 16, one of my favorite dramas ever, All the President's Men. I watch this every year, and the movie is just so good. And I have a couple friends that works in the newspaper department, and basically they say this is what really happens when like big stories come out or something like that. It's really good, a really good movie. Really enjoy it. The acting's really good, and I love how they hunt down the story, keep on hunting down the story. So that was number 16. Number 15 is a surprise. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, it's a throwaway comedy, but this movie makes me laugh. Oh, and I'm telling you right now, this is probably a top 5 chase scene ever in a movie. Number 15, my number 15 movie is What's Up, Doc? With Ryan O'Neal. Madeline Kahn steals this movie, and Barbara Streisand. I remember watching it, and the chase in San Francisco is just fantastic. But once again, Madeline Kahn steals this movie as Ryan O'Neal's fiance. Absolutely hysterical. I love this movie. My mom turned me on to it. We would lay in her bed, me, my brother, and her, and would just like sit. We would just laugh and giggle. I love that movie. Number 14, here's another controversial movie that probably a lot of you people didn't see, and it's hard to find, but I remember when this movie came out, and I was a big fan of it. Hot Stuff, with Dom DeLuise, Jerry Reed, Suzanne Pleshette. Basically, they're all cops. Oh, and the little Puerto Rican guy from Electric Company. They're all cops, and they go on a sting operation, and they just peddle like all this it's hot stuff, hot products, and then they arrest, they like try to arrest everybody at the end of the movie. But Hot Stuff, and Dom DeLuise, I'm telling you, he's like one of the top 5 funniest people I've ever seen in my life. And this movie is really good. It goes like really under the radar. I have a copy of it, and I watch it like every 4 months or something like that. I watch it because it makes me laugh. So Hot Stuff, if you can find it like in thrift stores or something, pick it up. It's really funny. Or go, after you watch my video, go and Google it, or like watch the trailer for it on the YouTube. Number 13, another funny comedy. As you can see, I lean towards comedies. Slapshot with Paul Newman. Absolutely a brilliant movie. Great movie. I love the guy interviewing the goalie, and the Hanson brothers with the taped fists and stuff. And I am a Flyers fan, as you can see. Yeah, I love that movie. So that's number 13. Number 12. If you're not from Philly and you don't have this on your list, you should be extradited from the area. Rocky is number 12. Absolutely a great movie. I remember when this movie came out. I live deep in the heart of Philadelphia in Delaware County, and this place was like all over. Dun, 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 dun. They played at Phillies games. They played at Sixers games, Flyers games, Eagles games. If you're not from Philly and you don't like this movie, you got to get out. Go back to New York or something like that. So number 12 is Rocky. Number 11, another Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein. Absolutely hysterical. Love that movie. I watch it probably like about every month. I watch it. Terry Garr, my God. I had such a crush on her when I was a kid, especially with Mr. Mom. I love that. It's just a funny movie. And another movie with the Mel Brooks you couldn't be making today. Here's my top 10. Get ready. And you're probably all disagreeing and yelling at me at home. Number 10, Smokey and the Bandit. My uncle took me and my brother to go see this as a guy's day out. And my uncle was like a huge Burt Reynolds fan. And we went to see it, and we were laughing our butts off. That's some bitch. Jackie Gleason. I love that. It's one that I can pop in, watch it, and just remember the first time I see it. I absolutely adore that movie. Number 9, Superman 78. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. I remember seeing that again with my uncle and my brother in the movie theater, and our mouths were just like agape. And he kept on turning to us and just smiling and going, "It's great, isn't it? It's great, isn't it?" So Superman, I watch that. I watch that at least a couple times a year. I never get tired of it. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. Number 8, The Sting, Best Picture winner. It's a great Newman and Redford. You can't go wrong there. Absolutely brilliant movie. Makes me laugh all the time. Just a little touches in it. It's just great. Number 7 is probably everybody's number 1 on everybody's list. The Godfather. I liked it. I love the movie. It's just down on my list. Number 6 is Grease. Okay? I love this movie. I can't tell you how many times that me, my brother, and my cousins watch this movie. We even have like a text alert whenever Grease is on TV. We'll pop it in. Their kids, my cousins' kids, do not like this movie because my cousins watched this movie so many times. I'm not kidding you. When that came out, we went to see it in the movies, and then my uncle got one of the first VCRs, and he taped it off of the HBO, it was on HBO all the time. We popped it in when we weren't outside playing. We were watching Grease. If it wasn't, we were watching it. We were listening to the soundtrack on our Aunt Bet's 8-track stereo. Love the movie. Still holds up. We can sing the songs. We can actually just go through all the scenes together, the 6 of us. So, Grease is number 6. Number 5, we're getting to my top. These are my top favorite 5. I changed the list like 3 times, but number 5 is one of the most underrated thrillers, espionage thrillers, 3 Days of the Condor. Absolutely love this movie. The first 10 minutes of this movie is the most riveting. Like, I put that up with Private Ryan, basically. The first 10 minutes of this movie. When people ask you to go out and pick up for lunch, go out and pick up for lunch. I'm telling you, it's a great, great movie. Number 4 is I just watched Dee's video, and I would agree with him. Part 1 and Part 2 should go in and make one movie, but it's The French Connection. It does have the greatest chase scene ever. But What's Up, Doc is up there too. That's chasing, but The French Connection's a great movie. Gene Hackman was fantastic. Absolutely adore this movie. That's number 4. And I have that box set that Dee has on DVD. I paid $34.99 at Best Buy at the time when that first came out. So I have that. Number 3 is one of Francis Ford Coppola's movies that like gets very, very low rated when they talk about his movies. But my number 3 is the Conversation with Gene Hackman. Absolutely a great movie. Man, this movie is so good. I watch this at least once a month. If you guys haven't seen it, please check that out. This was nominated. Man, Coppola was on a run, man, when he was in the early 70s. And this movie is just fantastic. The Conversation is number 3. Number 2 is a movie from 1978, Animal House. I think I watched this every day in high school, my sophomore year of high school. I was obsessed with John Belushi. I could not get enough of this movie. I remember my mom, my aunt, my mom watching it on HBO when we were probably 8, and we weren't allowed to watch it. But when it came on TV, it had the censored. I remember when it came on TV, and Mom goes, "Well, I guess you can watch it now since it's censored." I watched it. I remember my uncle hooking up 2 VCRs. Remember when you had the 2 VCRs? We rented Animal House and then went and got a $10 blank tape, and I made a copy of Animal House just so I can watch it. And I literally wore it out because I watched it so many times. So the toga, and every time I hear Otis's name, I'm like, I just yell out, "You're my boy Otis!" And number 2, Animal House. And my number 1 movie, if you know me, this will not surprise you. Long story with this. I'll try to tell it without breaking down. My mom set up a surprise party for me. I didn't know it. I was 7 years old, and I never got to go out with my mom without my brother tagging along. So, unbeknownst to me, she hooked up like a surprise party at our house, and Chris stayed home, and she goes, just me and you, we're going to go out. She took me to see Star Wars on my birthday, 1977. Never forget it. Sorry. She sat and watched me watch the movie. I was always a chatterbox. I still am a chatterbox, but I couldn't talk throughout the whole thing. And watching it on the big screen when the ship comes through, my mouth just went up. And I said, Mom, what you think of the movie? And she goes, I watched you watch it, and I know you liked it. And the remaining summer, me and my brother went to see that like at least 20 times. Because that was back in the 70s when you could sit in the movie theater and just sit and watch it back to back to back to back. So while she went to, these are Philly stores, Two Guys or Fields or Kmart with my aunt and my grandma, she would leave me and my brother just sitting in the movie theater, just watching it because she knew we didn't like to shop. So Star Wars for sentimental reasons, and I watch it at least, I'm telling you, I watch it at least once a week. So I watch it on Disney Plus. I have so many different versions of Star Wars. It's my favorite series. As you can see, there's Boba Fett and there's Mandalorian over there. I love the Star Wars franchise. I'm sorry to get emotional. Star Wars is my number one. So, what you think of my list? Like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment below. I'm anxious to see everybody's list. I think this what Tim does with these lists are fantastic. I really enjoy like watching all the videos. If you have any stories like mine and get like emotional about it, like I just did, sorry about that. But I just find these really good. And when they tell you movies don't bring out emotion for people because they remember when they first seen that movie, you know, with somebody that's not here anymore or with a group of friends, or so I really find it comforting to watch something like that because you can remember where you were and what you were doing at that time. It's sort of like a song. When you hear a song for the first time, you're like, oh, okay. And then years later, as you get older, you remember the song, and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember that. So yeah, Tim, thanks. Sorry about getting a little emotional about that, but yeah, Star Wars is my number one. The first one, 77. So like, comment, subscribe, share with everybody. Tim, awesome job again. Thank you so much for letting me participate, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.